Hey everybody, what is up? Serial Overdrive here, and today we're going to be talking armor, plates, and enhancers. Yeah, I've been going on a theme lately. You guys see it, but I think you guys like the theme, so let's keep it going. So armor, what matters with armor? Okay, first up, figure out what mob you're hunting. Maybe you get a mission. Maybe you want to be killing like Argos, like I was earlier, Feefoids, whatever. Go to Entropia, just Google that, Entropia, put it into Google. Look up your mob and figure out what type of damage it does, okay? You want to match that damage to the armor that you've got. Personally, I like having a full set of armor, so I don't like it when I've got this. Like, I've got these, right? I kept them because they're good. Hunter arms. Good armor, right? 9. There's some mobs that'll come in use for it, but I don't have a full set, so then I end up looking around, and usually I'm going to end up using those arms with a pair like this, Shogun. And this is SGA edition, which means it's a little bit better. But personally, I always prefer to have a full set because that makes my life easier. So a lot of the time, I'll just skip over these and I'll just use a full set. I've got full sets of a few things. I've got Pixie. I really don't use that much. I do have adjusted Pixie. A little bit better, but again, I don't use that much unless I really just need a slight boost to do a mob, okay? But then there's like Goblin, you got Shogun, you got Genome. What is this? Kobold. These are all like basic armors. This one's a little bit better with electric mobs. You can see that. It's got cold, it's got impact, it's got burn, it's got cut. It doesn't have electric. That wasn't my electric one, but you can see what I'm talking about. There's certain mobs that it'll do pretty good with, and there's some that do impact and burn, and then they do impact and cold. Kobold's the way to go with those, right? So you've got to match your armor to the mob that you're hunting or to the mobs that you hunt. If you get really good, you're going to have like one specific mob that you're hunting. That's going to be your mob where you make a lot of money, and that's going to be the one that you really focus on. So you're going to say, hey, I need this specific set of armor because this is what I want to use. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. Now, as you can see, this is some armor that I amped up. I forget what I was trying to kill with this, but I needed cut, impact, and stab, and this is the perfect one because the way damage works, okay, is all of this counts as decay. So if you've got something that does like this, 23, 13, and 8, all that gets added up, and that counts towards your decay. If it only blocks stab, it's doing 8, it's blocking 8 stab damage, but you're still decaying for the full value of this armor, okay? So you're getting an 8. Basically, you're getting like 8 points of protection, but you're getting like 40-something points of decay. That sucks. So match your armor to the mob. Get as close as you can. Sometimes that means cutting this. Sometimes it doesn't. This plate actually goes very well with this armor because the plate fully protects everything that the armor does. So yeah, let's move into the next part, plates. Okay, plates are just a way to get a little bit extra out of your armor. If you look at this, I don't have this armor plated. This is very generic armor. It hasn't been. This is another thing to go over real quick. If you keep your armor at full TT value, which means it's worth 74 PEDs all the time, it'll actually be able to hold damage better. L armor doesn't work this way, but unlimited armor does. I like unlimited armor because I don't like having to buy new sets of armor every time I go through it. So I personally prefer just to get this unlimited stuff, but it means I've got to keep it healed up because if you see, like I haven't repaired this armor in a while, so it's not as effective as it used to be. But again, you're still getting that full decay, which you don't want. So this was a bad one on my part. I should not have done this. Anyways, this is a good generic armor ghost because it protects from everything. So if I want to go on a hunt, I want to just grab something, this is an easy way to go. But I'm going to get a lot of extra decay that I don't need because most mobs, I don't need acid. I don't need 1 point of acid. That doesn't do anything. Electric, I probably need that, but what is all this doing here? I don't need that. Ghost is better for like impact, burn, cold, generic mobs, okay? Ghost is good for it. But you're getting a lot of extra decay that you don't need. So if you really find a mob that you like hunting, Ghost is not the way to go. Here's another one. This is a good armor, Vigi. It looks cool. You've got the helmet, and check this out. Check these stats. It does a lot of pen and a lot of burn. It's a very good armor to use against bots, and that's what I use it for. I only wear this if I'm doing bots, drones, anything that shoots at me. I've got the Vigi out because it's got a lot of good like impact, penetration. Penetration's a big one, burn. And that's why I have this plates on it, because these plates definitely help against that. And again, the plate, this was mainly because I wanted to go, I forget where I wanted to go. I wanted to fight like high-level drones. This was during a drone invasion, so I bought these plates, put them onto the armor, and it worked out so well. I went from taking like 10 damage per hit to taking 1, or not 1, but taking very little. And it was what I needed to hunt that big mob, and it helped me out because that mob at the time was dropping a lot more like high markup guns, high markup armor, and by hunting it, I knew I could make a profit, so I went for it. And it worked out. These plates paid for themselves. They really did. And that's a perfect example when you want to plate up, when you want to armor up, when you really want to try and get the max out of your armor because you don't want to die, but you know what you're hunting you can make a profit off of, so you're willing to take a little bit extra decay on it. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, if you get anything to take away from this, match your armor to the mob as much as you can. If you want to just go on a society hunt, you don't know what you're doing, like when I do my team hunts, I always use Ghost because it'll protect against anything. I've also got Vigi here because it's a good armor to have. The other thing you'll notice too is durability changes based on the armor. This one has durability of 1,700. Vigi has 2,500. The higher the durability, the better, obviously. Ghost is 2,000. So the Ghost and Vigi are better armors, durability-wise. Again, though, it depends how they match up. You've really got to run the numbers on this. Gremlin, another very good one. But again, run the numbers on this. You'll notice I do have a full set of Gremlin. I don't know. I don't know if I have all these plates. I'm pretty sure I do. I have 5B plates somewhere. That was because I wanted to go... I think that was because I wanted to hunt on Crystal Palace. I just don't know where they all went. That's the problem with having all this armor. It gets attached to stuff and you just forget about it. This is a little cool one that I'm keeping too. It's a... what was this? This is some sort of special armor, I think. I wonder if it'll say in the description. I'm getting off topic here. Oh, there you go. It is celebrating the second golden age of Calypso. That's when I looted this armor. Good times, good times. Alright, so let's move on. Let's move on to enhancers. Let's go to the auction for this because I do not use enhancers. I'm about to tell you why I don't like enhancers, right? First off, for me, I'm using unlimited armor. Unlimited armor, I'd have to tier up if I wanted to use enhancers. Not worth it. But let's say you're using L armor, because honestly, L armor, if you're looking to get the best decay for your money, that's L armor. That is limited armor that you want to use, because look at this, look at this. Great armor. Oh, sorry about that. That's not what I wanted to do. I definitely didn't want to do that. Here you go. Alright, so if you go down here, let's view it. Looking at that. What's the durability though? It's going to be a lot higher, I think, than that what we were looking at before. Give it some time to load here. So yeah, look at that durability. 14,000. If you don't mind not having a full set, definitely worth it to go L. You can get a little bit more for your money. And I'd probably recommend it, despite not doing it myself, I'd probably recommend going with L armor, especially if you're hunting a lot. You're going to run through the whole 80 whatever PEDs that an armor is, maybe 119 in the case of Thunderbird. Thunderbird's really good for electric. I've actually used this before. I borrowed a set. I love it. Let's pull up this one too, just to show you it's not like a one-off thing. So there's your Thunderbird, 12,000. Look at that electric damage. Like, you can't beat the value that you're getting for this. And if you're going to pay for something similar that's on L, you're going to be buying something like this, maybe Jag. And again, look at this durability. And someone can comment too on why the durability for this is so much lower, but I think I did a good job of covering it. As I said, comment below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, so there you go. That's basically L versus un-L. Even though I don't do it, I definitely recommend going with L. Limited being L, by the way. And let's go to these enhancers. I just want to show you this real quick and cover it. Again, look at the markup on these things. This isn't too bad. This might, at 100-something%, it might almost be worth it. I still don't think it is. But maybe if you know exactly what you're doing and you can use them in just the right way, it is worth it. Personally, I don't like enhancers. You guys know that. armor enhancers are just another version of sort of the enhancers that you've got for mining, weapons, medical. If you want more armor, just upgrade your armor, just get a better armor. You don't want to be running through enhancers like this. You're spending a lot of money per hit. Armor doesn't decay that much, and with these enhancers, you're spending a lot more per hit than you would normally be spending, in my opinion. Plus, because armor, you've got it all over here, you're going to need a lot of enhancers. You're going to need one for each one of these. If it breaks, you're going to have to redo it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of overhead. It's something I wouldn't recommend doing. But again, you can see people use them, and I'm sure people use them successfully. If all you've got is one type of armor, and it's the best type, and you need to enhance it just a little bit to get something, maybe you do need an armor enhancer. Again, for everything that I say you shouldn't do, there's a reason to do it if you know what you're doing. I mean, you can see 183 PEDs of these are being sold weekly, 8 PEDs daily. 8 isn't that much, but you're probably getting a few sales a week. And so there's people that use them, and there's people that like them. I wouldn't recommend it, but what do I know, right? I mean, you know, all this stuff isn't sold as much anymore because people collect it. Yeah, so that's it. That's armor, basically. The way I feel about armor, go with NL if you want to collect a full set and that really matters to you like it does to me. If you're willing to sort of mix and match, be a little bit discombobulated looking, or you find something that really works for the mob that you're hunting, or you're hunting for profit, L is probably the way to go just because of the decay and the fact that L armor isn't worth that much. Like, the markup isn't that much. We just saw that. There are some that the markup's huge. Always pay attention to the markup, because if the markup's too high, you're going to have a very, very hard time getting a profit out of it. But when you're looking at markups like this, when you've got a few different armors that are, you know, below 110, you can probably find a way to make it work, and it's probably going to work better than limited armor plus, or sorry, unlimited armor. Plus, with limited armor, you don't have to keep it at max PED value, which means you don't have money locked up in your armor. If you look at this, all my sets of armor, I've probably got 1,000 PEDs locked up in them. That's a lot of money to just have it sitting there waiting to be used. So, yeah, that's that. As far as enhancers go, I wouldn't recommend them. And for armor attachments, this was what I was covering before plates. They can be good and they can be bad. It just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a little bit of a boost and you can find a plate that gives it to you, go with it. Personally, the one I really like is 6B, which is what you see me equipping here. You can pop that onto some Vigilante armor, and you've got some really, really heavy-duty armor that probably competes with something that would be L. It's decaying a little bit more. Yeah, L armor is probably worth it based on this. I know. I don't practice as I preach, but that's sort of where I stand. And the plates are good for boosting a little bit more if you really need to get that out so you could hunt something that's, you know, got a high profitability. Yeah, it's statistically going to bring you a high profitable. You guys know what I'm saying. If you're going to hunt something profitably, or if you find a mob that you can profit off of, maybe those attachments are worth it, or those plates are worth it just because you know you can squeak out a little bit more. And enhancers, I don't recommend using them, but again, if you're going to be the top of the top, the best of the best, you can probably find a use for them. Also worth noting, female armor sells for way less markup-wise. Way less. So, if you don't mind having a female character and you want cheap armor, that's the way to go. Anyways, I hope that video helped you guys out. If you got any questions, comments, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, post down below. I'm always watching those comments, always reading that info, and a lot of you guys give me great advice, so keep it up. Hope you guys like this one. Until next time, peace.